And welcome again, my dear friends. Morpheus is in the house, about to make you guys some money. But yeah, well, I am gonna make money, not really to all of you. But if anybody's joining through this, right now, if anybody's kind of coming across this stream, binary options, we take advantage of certain macro statistics where no technical analysis is necessary. Chats are open right now. You're able to ask me any kind of questions about trading anywhere in the world, on the beach, on the mountaintop, on the moon. As long as you have internet, you're able to make money. But a bit of the red pill, I'm giving you a bit of the truth about how the system works. This is a fantastic instrument to kind of accelerate your financial independence, but it's probably unlikely that you can do the only thing that you can do is this and to answer all of your financial needs. But this is probably not news. I mean, I don't think that anybody here knows any millionaires or billionaires that got their fortune in binary options only. This is just one of the instruments that's available, but I keep always saying that financial independence is like building a house. The fact that you're gonna need a hammer, it's almost a guaranteed, but you can't really build a house using just a hammer. So if you got any questions, chats are open right now. Yeah, my boy Henry and Donald are in the house. What's up, guys? And well, anybody who's willing, comes across the stream right now, if you guys are interested in how to make money, how to make it stable, and this is probably the most lucrative instrument that I've ever come across. The charts are not, this is not like something that's pre-recorded. If you click on pocket option link that's available right there below, you are gonna go, you just, get on there and you'll see that my graph and your graph are identical right now. So this is something that you can be, it's something that you'd be able to, I don't know, to make sure that, I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to just kind of give me maybe a little bit of your attention, and allow essentially the history that, that's right there. Essentially we make money. We make money every single week. Yesterday we talked a little bit about the AI trading, and there is a reason why I can beat the AI. Because the system, I don't know, it kind of comes close to my alias, the Morpheus, is that I'm able to be patient, right? Versus when that button is pressed and it opens a position with the highest probability of success. Sometimes that probability is not the highest. But with proper money management, that's actually something that's super important. Henry and Donald, we actually talk about this extensively during our one-on-one trading. These guys are trading with me one-on-one. We clarify any kind of questions. It's something that's available for anybody who's interested in making money as like a side income or maybe even like primary income. But as I mentioned, for me, it's a little bit more stressful when there's no money coming in and this is the only thing that you kind of have to act, and sometimes when there's like no reason to act, right? So we're looking at what the hell? We're looking at GBP USD. Oh man, yesterday, guys, if you looked at yesterday's video, it was like no, this is still today. There was this spike, beautiful spike. When was it? It was like at in the morning. Yeah, there it is, right at 11:30. There was a spike followed by a retracement, and this was yesterday's GBP right at 11:30. There it is. Manufacturing services PMIs were released yesterday. We took advantage. We made money on French. We made money on German. There was no movement, though you and I, we saw this together. There was no movement for Euro. I mean, it is marked as a medium impact event, though the numbers weren't very impressive either. And I don't know, there was no movement whatsoever. Actually, let's take a look. Actually, very curious about United States, because we ended our stream at around 11:30, but at 4:45 p.m. GMT plus 3 time, let's go and see what we've got. Is this it? No, this is early in the morning. All right, there we go. Now we're in yesterday and 4:45 p.m. Right about, wait a second. So did I miss something? There was nothing, right? Look at that, 445. Now didn't, United States PMIs. Yeah, euro, dollar. Let's take a look at maybe a different USD currency. Um, let's take a look at USD JPY. 1 minute candles at 4:45 p.m. yesterday. There we go. We're in yesterday. And 16:45. No, look at, no, I don't see really. There was actually no reaction. Wow. Surprising is actually surprising. Uh, there it is. Well, it was a slight better than the forecast. 52.9 came out at 53.1. I don't know, and came out kind of like better. I don't know. It should have been actually better. PMIs usually make an impact on the market, but it seems like this time it didn't, even though it's a high impact event. But today we're going to take advantage now on the scale of which one of these macros is a little bit more weighty. CPI takes the cake. So right now we're going to be looking at CAD. All right, if I could just, choose and type it in, actually. All right, so we got, let's see, what do we got? The highest one, we got EuroCAD, right? 87%. All right, EuroCAD, okay, and this coming up in like 2 minutes, right? 3 minutes and 12 seconds from now, we're going to see an impulse. This is not a surprise. Everybody knows about this. This is not a secret information. I did not just show you something, like insider trading or something. So this is something that I do hope that you guys will understand. No matter where you are in the world, even if you're on the toilet right now, I don't know, I don't know why you would be looking at this, but the idea is that if you take a bathroom break or a water break or coffee break, even if you're working, I think that you should be able to get yourself a couple of minutes worth of, me time, and get yourself, and there's no need for any indicators, right? We understand, once again, I've been saying this for a very long time. I mean, we can remove all of the indicators, and we still understand that there's a, countdown until the statistic is released. Once it's released for everybody globally, and in the real market, there's going to be a reaction. Lots of people are going to jump and buy or sell based on this news. And the beautiful thing about this that that it's mathematical. It's numerical. It's not subjective, right? So if you take a look at any forex calendar, right, you'll be able to see, a little, kind of clarification. Hey, the actual greater than the forecast. There's the actual number. There's the forecast, right? And we're looking. So the forecast is, wow, much higher, right? It was negative zero point 0.1. So it says that, wow, by 0.5% it grew from a monthly basis. And if this number comes out like 0.6, 0.7, that's going to be something that's really good. Especially because the differences sometimes, like the big ones, is look, we got like zero point 0.5 over here. We do have like also 0.6, right? 0.6 or no, zero point 0.4 over here. So, it's a big jump. It's a big, movement or prediction. So if it comes out higher than the forecast, it's good for the currency. And we're looking at EuroCAD. If it's good for Canadian dollar, we're going to see a big red candle. All right, so there we go, less than a minute. And I don't know, I think that I might actually try to do the asset by, all right, so let's do, I don't know, $10 here, and let's do, I'll go $50 here for a retracement. So a little bit closer, a little bit when it goes down to like 20 seconds, I think I'll make like a 4 pip higher, 4 pip lower, buy and sell. We're going to try to do a pending order for buy and sell. So let's take a look what we got here. So 15.11. So it'd be a 59.07. 07 for a sell, and 59.14 for a buy. All right, I think maybe I did a little bit bigger or something. What, 59.11? Yeah, 07 would be 4 pips. All right, anyway, so yeah, I might have actually overdone this a little bit, but irrelevant. So now we got current trades. There's still, there we go, 3, 2, 1. What do we got? A spike. But where is it? Where is it? Oh my God, where is it? That's it? Wait a second. Something is not it's not right here. There we go. Let me open for retracement. I think I opened it too soon though. Let's see. All right, so it activated this position, which means that I should go to, where's pending trades? I should go to current and close this one. I opened for a retracement here for 50 bucks. Yeah, unusual activity a little bit, but so there was an opening. It kind of did this flash thing. It went up and, kind of came back down. Not really sure what the heck that was, but it did spike down. There is a retracement. Usually it's within the same minute. That's why we have a timer here, not what you usually do with the flag, where I choose the end of the candle, end of expiration. So you got about another 6 seconds or so, right? Because I think I opened it like 3 seconds into it. And there it is. There's a spike and there's a retracement. So we did make our 50 bucks. We're at, what's the profitability? 77%. So I lost $10. I've won 43, right? And so I'm in profit, but yeah, CPI usually kind of creates this big move and then it, kind of retraces about 20, 30, 40%, sometimes a little bit more. But this is where we need to understand there's the risk of this, right? So we lost 10 bucks, we won 43, so we're $33 in profit, and this is in a matter of 1 minute, right? So you knew about this ahead of time. And so this is why this is so beautiful. From mobile phones, sometimes it's difficult to make technical analysis, but from perspective of macro statistics, this is something that's available. This is something that is offered to you. Please take it. Here's the money. Oh, we got Victoria. Victoria is asking, hey, Morpheus, what kind of money management do you use? Great question. By the way, thank you so much for posting this question. It's very important, actually. There's two money management techniques that um, that most traders use, most investors will use. It's standard money management, where you invest a portion, right? By the way, I'm sorry, let's take a step back. Proper money management for binary options, right? For binary options, there's two kinds usually, and variations of both, of each. So standard money management, right? That's the first one, is where you invest a percentage of your balance into each position. So for example, it's usually like 1 to 3%. So if you got $100, it's like $1 to $3 that you invest into each position. What happens is that if your balance grows, your profit grows as well, because first you invest $1, let's say, from $100 balance, and then as soon as you're, I don't know, let's say like something more, round number, as soon as you make $110, right, on your balance, you now invest with $1.10. So at 92 cents, so 92% profit. Every single time your balance grows, your investment grows, and your profit grows faster. Your balance grows faster. The opposite is true as well, which is kind of interesting, is that if your balance decreases, you're still 1%, means that you're investing less and less. And theoretically, it means that the more you lose, the less you lose. All right, obviously $1 is the minimum trade in pocket option, but nevertheless, if we're talking about $1,000, right, and you invest $1 or 1% of your balance into each position, it works this way, that every time you lose less and less until you start making. But this is something that's applicable to a strategy that has super high return on the, actually super high success rate. So let's assume, again, theoretically speaking, let's assume that you trade only when like 5 indicators all show all right, let's say something like, well, that's maybe a little bit too cluttered. All right, alligator. All right, let's say like that, right? So, and then let's say shaft. I don't know what else we're gonna be. All right, accelerator, oscillator, right? Let's say that. And I don't know. So you decide to open the position only when all of these indicators align, and there are actually like really good let's kind of take a look into the past. I'm actually going to mute the alligator so that we see a little bit better. All right, so right here we actually do have like a super actually, and this is based on technical analysis in the real market, so we understand why. But there is a on this candle we have a buy signal from fractal, we have a buy signal from parabolic because it's switched under. We have a buy signal from shaft. We got a crossing of the zero line with accelerator oscillator. And so we got essentially we got a buy signal from super trend, right? So the idea is that we have lots and lots of um, signals to enter into a position, right? So, but let's see how often does this happen? Okay, right here we had a sell signal. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we got parabolic on the just switching. We have super trend. I don't know. So there's one, but this happened at right 45 minutes back. No, wait, that's too far. No, not 45 minutes. I'm sorry, 15 minutes back from there. So there was one, there was two. Let's see if we can spot something else that's kind of close. All right, but see, there was. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. So when what did I say? 15 minutes right here for sell. All right. So yeah, we got parabolic, we got super trend, no fractal, right? And at this point, there's still not a crossing of the zero line, right? That happens on this candle right here. Right, so anyways, maybe that's not the ideal situation. Here's a buy. I don't know really if this is actually even went down below, so it comes back up, but there's a buy signal here. There is, still in the middle, so that's not really it. So if we take a look right here for sell, we do have fractal come up on this candle, right? So a little bit leading indicators are still not quite giving you a signal. Here's where shaft does. And on the next candle, this is where accelerator oscillator does, right? So also not it. So the reason why I'm going with this is that let's assume that you have only 5 signals per day, right? And 4 of them are in the money. You do proper money management like standard money management, and essentially it still is going to work out better than martingale, right? Because and obviously if you got only 5 signals per day, you're probably going to be looking at slightly bigger amount, right? Slightly larger investments because obviously, if you wait like a couple of hours between positions, this is not really something that's as fast paced. And martingale is actually goes a little bit. So if you have like an 80-90% success rate, with whatever it is that you're doing, however it is that you choose to trade, whether longer time intervals or waiting for this alignment of all of your indicators, that's your choice. I mean, if this as long as it's making you money, so nobody's going to be able to tell you, hey, what you're doing is wrong. But for you, maybe standard money management would make more sense. You actually do a little bit of math calculation. But if you got like 50% success rate, then yes, we're talking about, something that's a little bit better. It's the martingale. Standard martingale. It's if you start with $1, standard martingale usually involves a multiplier of 2. So usually people say, "Oh, I'll just double my loss." That's not technical martingale, though. If that works for you, then once again, do what works. Do what's logical for you, based on your statistic. But martingale, if your statistic, or I'm sorry, standard martingale is multiplier of 2. So $1 becomes 2, and this is where people mix up that it's not doubling it. It's just that there's no previous losses. But if you lose the $2, technically you lost 1 and 2, which means you lost $3, and then you multiply that by 2 and it becomes 6. Right? So if you lose $6, then the next investment is actually 18. Right? It's very aggressive investing from $1 to 2 to 6 to 18. In four steps of martingale, you've just lost $27, and that's like over 1/4% of your $100 balance if you had it. It's very aggressive. But the beautiful thing is that nobody says that it has to be a multiplier of 2. It could be a multiplier of 1.5, right? And then, work the numbers. You'll actually see that you're still going to be making money, and it's still going to be very good money at the end of the month, but it's also something that we need to, kind of finagle for your statistics. I like the idea that you invest a particular amount, but if I have $1,000, it doesn't automatically mean that I have to invest, $10 as the first trade. I could still invest three, five, even with my balance right here, you constantly see me open positions for like 10, 20, 30, 40, $50, maybe a couple of $100, right? When we had the interest rate decision last week, we made $700 in 1 minute, right? With United States, where it shot up, I started with $100, I went to two, and then I opened to six, because I understand that this macro statistic is super important to everybody, and lots of interest is going to be there. So, anyways, this is something that hopefully I answered your question, Victoria. And so yeah, two standard, standard money management and martingale, and there is a little kind of variation of two. There is flexibility enough in both of these understandings where you guys would be able to put that into action for yourself. So today, I mean, wait a second, let's kind of take a look. What was it for CAD? Oh, it didn't update here. There we go. So it was positive, right? So it was negative -0.1. Actually came out higher than the forecast. So there was, kind of met the expectations for the yearly. Trimmed CPI was exactly as it was forecasted, and common CPI, I don't even know what the hell common CPI is. All right, let's see. Consumer price counts for majority overall inflation. That's what we know. Inflation is important currency valuation because of rising prices lead to central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for their inflation containment mandate. So measures change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers which have similar price variations over time. So what is common? Third Tuesday, the average price varies. Goods and services are sampled and then compared to the previous sampling. All right, we kind of know. Basically, I'm not really sure. I understand that I think trimmed CPI, it's like core CPI, it excludes certain data. Um, Yeah, once again, not really clear. Maybe we can actually, maybe look around, cheapest research, person concern, excluding the most volatile 40% of items. Well, there we go. Yeah, trend CPI is like core CPI for Americans, where there is like excluding automotive, I don't know, sphere, automotive field. So here it says just 40% of the, most volatile of all items. So not really sure what the heck common CPI is, but irrelevant. Consumer price index. Usually it's something that leaves a mark on the, on the graph. And there was a spike. We took advantage of it. There was a retracement. All right, so there was a continuation for a retracement. It was actually quite big. So in essence, overall, yeah, this was good news. That's why there was a spike downward. But there, I'm looking at maybe like 300% retracement. I'm not really sure why. But nevertheless, we made money. This is why, this is something that is going to be available for you guys over and over again. Now, I mentioned that today, later at 5 p.m., there's going to be Fed chair, right, Fed chair, the head of the FOMC meeting, the FOMC committee, Jerome Powell is going to be making a speech, and so it is marked as a high impact event. There's going to be one today, and there's going to be one tomorrow. I did mention it yesterday and the previous week that it is important enough because he's the one that ultimately decides whether to raise or lower interest rates. And if we take a look, actually, let's do that together one more time. Just in case somebody is joining us right now, we're talking about how to make trading in binary options more stable. So there is instruments at your disposal that gives you a knowledge ahead of time what will be happening. We take advantage of it every single week. I continue to make these videos for new people that might come in through, to the stream and try to understand how to make massive amount of profit with the least amount of risk. It's when why does the market move? Because there should be a reason for it, whether it's technical analysis or what we're looking at over here, fundamental analysis. So last week we had the interest rate, federal funds rate, and notice that federal funds rate was at 4.5 as of December last year. right? So we're in June right now. We're at the end of June, so there's lots of time that something for the economy to actually move back and forth. It can't really stay in one spot too long because that's also not really a good thing. All right, so we're talking about 4.5% for released a lot of over 6 months. So the fact is that maybe he's going to mention today. I'm sorry. There we go. Let's go to this week. There we go. So it's highly likely that maybe something today or tomorrow could lead to him making certain projections. All right. Obviously, what you can do is you can click here, go to the Federal Reserve latest release during closer to this time, and maybe you'll actually be able to listen to what he says. If you type into YouTube, Jerome Powell speech, today's date and this time, you might go to, because it's sometimes, streamed as well through YouTube, be able to watch it live and listen. And I would love for you guys, it's kind of like, not really homework, but to notice what the market is doing, especially in 1 minute, intervals. The reason is that usually people will react to what he says. I mean, if he decides to say that in 2-3 months they're going to raise interest rates, it looks like in 2-3 months we'll be raising interest rates. It doesn't matter that it's going to be in 3 months. The reaction for it is going to be now. This is great news. All right, usually, kind of means that the inflation is rising, and well, the economy is expanding, and what they will try to do is kind of curb that expansion because they don't, nobody wants if your salary is $500 a week in America for a piece of bread to be like $50. All right, because that's actually what can happen. Anyway, so there we go. This is something that we should be aware of today. That there will be this potential. So at 4 o'clock we got ECB, European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde making a speech, but it's marked as a medium impact event. It's unlikely that she's going to say something shocking or drastic, but nevertheless, if you want to take a look at this, obviously something that you can do. So right now, I don't know if there's no more questions right now. I mean, we got Victoria, my boy Henry and Donald are in the house. We do trading. They kind of keep promising not to miss a single a single one of my streams. But let's see. Yesterday we did a bit of trading with AI. In Telegram channel, there were a bunch of requests for this to maybe to continue today, because it seemed like a lot of fun. Because well, actually, it's trading with no analysis. You're not the one to choose which direction. You're not the one to choose which expiration. You are the only one who to choose the investment, right? The investment amount. And if you do it, this kind of goes along with what Victoria has mentioned today. It's what kind of money management to use for this kind of trading. I personally said that I wouldn't want to ever cross the third step martingale, but based on maybe your results or maybe what kind of asset you're trading and something like that, maybe you would think differently. But yesterday, what I think that we were in profit at the end of the day. But it's very, once again, important to understand. Actually, I'm going to go into a big screen right now. We need to understand that the the I don't know, I would say like the mathematical formula behind the AI, it's not geared towards you. Once again, there's the volume of people that choose to use it. There is, kind of understanding of all of the instruments. There's no emotions. So this is where, once again, there are benefits and minuses to all of these instruments at your disposal. So please understand, nobody is here like, the chart is exactly the same, but the second to second variation in market movements could actually create a different position for you and your person, like a person sitting next to you. If you try to click at the same time, there could be a microsecond difference. and one will open for 5 seconds, the other one will open for 10. One will go in the money, one will go out. But again, we're talking about, actually, wait a second. You know what? Let's take a look if we can, let's take a look at yesterday. The statistic. Actually, I'm not here, right? Wait. Let's go here. Oh no, not profile. Wait, I'm sorry. We get trades, and I think it's in here. I want to see. There we go. There it is. See, we've done a lot of AI trading yesterday, right? So third step martingale, but there were actually like 6 steps, right? 1, 2, 3, right here, 4, 5. But I didn't go beyond the third, right? So 1, 150, 375, 1, 150, 375, I won. So in this case, I was like, I don't know, surmising here, it was like a couple of dollars in the loss, and then it was repeated again, right? So this is where I did a goof here somewhere with you guys, right? There we go. I went 126, but I wanted to actually go 126 and then one position, but accidentally I opened up for a $61. So we made money yesterday, but it wasn't really as impressive. However, I do want to mention one thing. Let's see if we kind of get this kind of picture across. Um, the beautiful thing about pocket option is that you get deposit bonuses, right? Deposit bonus is especially cool because if you deposit, well, let's say $1,000, the company can give you up to 100% of that on top. But the requirement for this would be that you go through the trading volume, right? Now, with $1,000 DEP bonus, you would actually have to go through $50,000 worth of trading volume. To do that on your own, right? To do that with signals coming in. Remember I said if your signals are coming in like 5 per hour, right? And proper money management, that would actually mean sometimes that you can lock in your money for like a month and a half, 2 months, while you go through the trading volume based on your own signals. But the cool thing about this also is that with AI trading yesterday, I think that we were more or less in zero or probably a little bit in the money. I mean, I should take a look at that. Let's see if we can spot this on here. But the idea once again is that hold on, let me see. What did we do yesterday in terms of profitability? Euro dollar OTC trades description. Well, for yesterday, yeah, oh yeah, we were in profit like 50. So, oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, let's switch over. There we go, $63, right? Majority. See, we've done a little bit of trading in euro dollar, based on what the heck was it yesterday that we did trade euro dollar? Yeah, we did PMIs. Right? So French, it was euro. For German, it was euro. For the entire eurozone, we didn't really do anything because there wasn't movement. And we did one with, oh, and I missed the GBP. That's why we're looking at only euro dollar. There we go. We've done only 2 positions for retracement. The majority of that, there we go, 57 trades was done in, 57 trades was done in euro dollar OTC. Right, now here, all right, so interesting enough, all right, so we're making money, but we also need to understand that what allows you to go through that trading volume, right, we've made $67, but the trading volume that we went through yesterday was actually quite significant, right? $10 here, $10 there. Profit minus doesn't matter. Every time you open a position for $1 or 2 or 5, whatever, that counts towards your trading volume. It doesn't matter if it's winning or losing, right? Open $10 won, open $10 lost. That's $20 worth of trading volume. So, if you're the kind of person that on pocket option uses DEP bonuses, this would be a great instrument at your disposal for you not really, as long as you do it once again with proper money management, to go through the trading volume a little bit faster, right? So hopefully that's understood. That part is understood. Trading volume. It doesn't matter whether you're winning. It's not talking about $50,000 worth of profit. Talks about $50,000 worth of positions that you're opening. right? And that's the important part. So, standard money management, right? Let's actually go back. Let's do some trading. Let's do some more AI trading today, right? So let's click this close. Let's close this. There we go. And let's remove this. But by the way, if you guys wanted to, talk about a particular technique or something, reason why I'm going to Euro Dollar OTC, because usually, once again, this is a bit more prone for technical analysis trading. So again, we're going to go, because I don't usually do AI. I know that I did AI and I did my own performance. I usually beat the AI based on the fact that I can wait for the better signal, right? All right, so right now, obviously, I would be opening for a retracement, though AI is opening for a continuation. It won 80. Wait, why is it 85%? No, I don't like that. Let's choose something with a little bit higher. Um, all right, there we go. AUDCHF. All right, let's go. So once again, I would be looking at, there's a buy signal here. Actually, was a really good one. Yeah, I would have been riding this train all the way up here, right? And probably very soon, I would expect that it's going to be going down. So, AUDCHF, let's actually put that up here so we see what kind. All right, I lost $1, and so we're increasing this to a little bit faster, or, a little bit larger amount. So it opened for I opened for $1.50. It opened for a sell position, which I kind of agree at this point. I might have been doing the same, but I would have waited for signals because everything else is still pointing upwards, right? And I think it was like 30 seconds, right? Usually there was. I think I got to look into the um, the settings to see the time of the expiration. All right, so I won $1.50. Again, to anybody who's watching this for the first time, martingale is a system of increasing the position so it covers the previous loss and ends you up in the profit as well. So we're talking about not really a big thing because, as I mentioned, I don't really like to use AI. I'd much rather use my own kind of technical analysis, but just because there was such a positive response yesterday, we're going to continue with this. Once again, you don't need to do any kind of thinking. You just need to do a little bit of counting, right? So there we go. We lost $1. We won $1.38. So obviously $1 is back and 38 cents in profit. All right. So if we're, as soon as you're in profit, you go back to the first step martingale. And you know what? Let's do a little bit more interesting today. As I mentioned, we're going to do. I'm gonna risk, like martingale of 2, and we're gonna have 4 steps martingale. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 6, 18. Right? So wait, did we win? Yeah. My wife keeps telling me I think I repeat this over and over again. My wife keeps telling me that I can't walk and breathe at the same time. I need to devote all of my attention to one thing. All right, we lost. Open for a $2. Then we go for a 6. And then we'll go to 18. But the thing is that I will not go higher because after 18, it's going to be 54. Statistically speaking, you're probably going to end up at, the higher you go, the higher this probability that you're going to win a position. But in like 6, 7 steps, I could actually wipe out my entire balance. So I'm never going to, just be that that aggressive. But, let's open today. Let's see what kind of, there we go, 5-second position. I usually don't do that either. All right, we go to 2. We open. All right, so it looks like there's, Fractal says that it's going to be going down. There is the drops in the bars. I kind of do agree that it should be going down. But at the end of this candle, we'll see the bar. At the end of this candle, we'll see if there's going to be a rounding out of shaft. And at the end of this candle, if it drops down, and maybe parabolic is going to go on top with super trend as well. Doesn't look like it though, but so that's why we're going to go to the third step martingale. And we're going to wait a little bit. I would open for a sell, but if I click right now on, oh, I lost it. Yeah, okay. But if I click, see it, yeah, it does go for a sell, but we'll see. All right, so $18. See, right now, some certain calculations that maybe we're not aware of could be. Oh yeah, it looks like we're gonna win on this one. Okay, so back to $1. You know what? I kind of really quickly want to make sure. Yeah, it looks like we opened the the AI opened the position for like 30 seconds, and it gives me this opportunity to set up this kind of support level. So right now, though, there was an establishment of a second lowest low. If it's going to continue down, we have kind of this like pinching factor. But, all right, so let's see. Now, here's another thing that I noticed some of my traders. Now, as I mentioned this during introductory videos, I actually have a massive, massive experience. I've been doing this since 2012, and I worked for two brokers, international brokers. And I gotta tell you that there are people that are like opening, they click the AI or buy or sell with like $1 or $2, but they click like 15 times, or they click before the position is over. Not something that I've ever experienced, I've ever known a trader to be successful for long during that kind of trading, where you open 15, 20 positions as the asset goes in one expiration period. Right. Actually, I said that on the AI, but it's not possible because AI opens different expiration periods. But the idea is that wait until your position is over, wait until your position closes for you to actually understand whether you're winning or losing. I think AI is kicking ass today. All right. Let's see. What was this? All right. So we're looking like we're all right, in the money, third step in the money, second step in the money, in the money, in the money. So second step, okay, second step I lost right now. Let's go to 6, and again, all right, this one's going to be kind of fast, 5 seconds or so. All right, so $6 if it's going to be in the money. All right, there we go, back back to $1. It's actually, very, very, very fast paced. And yeah, all right. So we made money on the technical or on the fundamental analysis with the CPI. And look, so one, back in the green. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, back in the green. One, back in the green. Lost, lost. One, back in the green. Now we're making good money actually here. Yeah, in terms of what was the last one? Did we win? No, we didn't win the last one. There it is. All right, so we go to 2. Right, and as I mentioned, because you're not really doing any kind of tech analysis, this, by the way, is irrelevant, right? Because it still didn't establish. Actually, wait a second. We do have kind of like a resistance level here. All right, and we lost 2. Let's go to 6. All right, let's see what AI does. So that's what I'm saying. With AI, it's, it can open a position for like, 5 seconds. And once again, not something that I usually do, but there it is. So as long as you stick to the proper money management, it doesn't matter whether you lose on the first, on the second. Statistically speaking, can it give you 6 losing trades in a row? Yeah, yes, it can, because when you click that button, it will open with the highest probability of success. Maybe in your idea, highest probability is like 60, 70, 80. No, I mean, it could open with the highest probability of success, and it could be like 15% for success, right? So sometimes maybe you should kind of wait a little bit. Wait, we won, right? There we go. Let's open another one. I would open for a retracement, but yeah, I would probably open for a retracement. I mean, we got a kind of like a nice channel here, right? And it looks like it's bouncing from this. And there it is. Yeah, so it goes for a sell position. It's something that I would do as well. But maybe honestly, at this moment, I think I would have wanted for a signal at least, right, to be visible, to push for that. Still, there we go, a sell. I would have done that as well, but once again, I probably would have needed a little bit more. All right, and see, if I lose on the fourth step martingale, I probably just I will wipe out the entire profit that we've made so far. I mean, it's not really large, right? So a couple of dollars. If I lose 18, I wipe out the entire profit. So this is where right now I think I lost 3 times in a row. I mean, do I dare, right? I can lose again 1, 2, 6 and still be equaling the fourth step martingale, $18. And you know what? I kind of don't want to disappoint you guys because I did say I'll take the fourth step. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I can lose a little money. It's not really something such a big deal. Alright, so let's see though, but if I do lose $18, I have to start all over again because theoretically, as I mentioned, I probably would wipe out the entire profit that we've made so far, together today. Yeah, I lost it, right? So, I mean, not entire because we made some decent money here, but from AI trading, yeah, I think that I would have, wiped out the entire thing. Actually, beautiful thing about this AUDCHF, what we've decided to trade with 92% profitability, is the entire AI trading that we've done today, just with this asset. We're going to stick with this currency pair. So here, once again, here's where it gets interesting, maybe, that, the fifth step martingale, and statistically speaking, can it give me a false signal? Yes. Right, yes, it can, but that's why I don't think I would ever want to go because at $54, definitely I will wipe out the entire profit of today and end up in the red zone, from the day before. So that's why I'm still going to go, for first dollar, for $1, I'm going to start all over again. And at the end of the stream, right? At the end of the stream, we're going to, like, another 20 minutes or so, we're going to take a look at the history for today's statistics, and we'll see what kind of results we had. All right, there we go. So there we go. There's a parabolic switching. I would actually say sell. Yeah, parabolic switched. We got, there it is. There's the dot. Going back to 1 and opening, I would still be selling. We got the crossing of the 0 line. I'm waiting actually right now for shaft to go, to do its thing, to round out on the, at the end of this minute. There we go. We got a fractal that says sell. And this one looks like we actually opened it for, almost like the entire minute, right? So just need to wait a little bit. As I mentioned, I like to always finish with, or rather open the position, next position after the one that I have closes, so that I understand what kind of money to invest, right? So there we go. It also looks legit. Yeah, after a bigger drop, there should be a bit of a retracement and, perhaps a continuation. So we lost $1, yeah. All right, let's go to 2. That was only for like 5 seconds. This one's for 5 seconds as well. What's going on? Did we win? We won. Going back to 1. All right, so as I mentioned, today's trading volume is something that's actually going to be quite interesting with regards to how much. $1. Okay, let's continue to go to 2. AI. Kicking butt and taking names. See, actually, interesting enough is that if we look at our statistic, we usually go down on the second position. We got more winning trades, which is a bit unfortunate uh, because on the second trade, on the second step martingale, we make the smallest amount of money, right? We make the least amount of money on the second trade. And here, I'll show you that in just a second. All right, let's take a look. All right, so we lost $1, we won $1.84, which means we won 84 cents. But if we won on $1, well, there we go, we win 92 cents versus 84 cents with a 92% return on investment. So we got 92, 84, but let's see where I won on the third step, right? Do we have any $6 wins? There it is. On the $6 win, we lost $3, but we won 5.52. So on the third step, I'm actually making $2.52. All right, this is where, well, once again, math kind of works with this, but this is where it's important to understand. You don't need ideal statistics, but you do need a very solid understanding what the market is doing. Actually, it looks like we've got a false breakout right here, so we're going to continue. I won on the second. All right, so we go back to $1. And this is where you might, because yesterday there was a reason why I said that, listen, I don't like going above the third step martingale because it threatens the entire progress that we've made, right? So imagine trading for like 20 minutes and, like small, but, little by little you grow. And then on the fourth step martingale goes whoosh back down to 0. Psychologically strenuous. And this is something that, all right, lost right there. Yeah, this is something that could push you into making a horrible decision that, there we go, $18. Do we go to $18 now? We're probably going to be um, wiping out our, oh, wait a second, did I win on the $18 that we did? No, I didn't. I lost it. There we go. Yeah. So there we go. $34 I won, thankfully. Statistics. All of this revolves around probabilities. Do you want to risk? Sometimes you do got to put on your big boy pants and kind of, just bite the bullet and kind of go for it. But one-on-one in Telegram channel, if you reach out to me, we'll be able to cover these moments when that's more appropriate for you to actually take that final step. In tournaments, this is almost kind of like a guarantee. You have to go big to get yourself onto the top three spot. But anybody who's joining us right now, right there, at the third bottom from the left on the left side panel, right on the right side panel, I'm looking in reverse. Right there, you see tournaments, daily tournament, free daily tournament from Pocket Option. Love this platform. As I mentioned, this is not pre-recorded. Click on the link below. You'll see the time. This is GMT +3 for me. You'll see the same graph. We got this like really nice channel that's going up based on technical analysis. I would actually say that we're looking at a possible there we go. Highest or the second lowest high, right? So it started here. There we go. It sold this level, but now it's establishing, and it looks like it's going to be breaking through any moment now. We've been looking at parabolic saying. I'm looking at the super trend going flat. There's a fractal that's usually used as a signal. And right now, yeah, we're still looking for a second point contact with this level of resistance. So it could go up. And at that point, we could see some changes, and it looks like, yeah, there we go, parabolic. So right now, I would have opened up. Right, I do believe that the next couple of candles would be green. And in this case, we should, kind of extend this a little bit further and say that if it goes up any further, it could go up to this level right now. We're still making, pennies on the dollar, but nevertheless, it adds up. At the end of the month, people often ask me, how do you move money back and forth, back and forth? No, this is a horrible idea to move money back and forth. It's psychologically stressful. And I'm sorry if I kind of maybe insult anybody who's doing this, but it's illogical, right? You're an investor. Imagine somebody calling Apple broker and say, hey, I want to buy 100 shares of Apple. Here's $70,000. And then, I don't know, in 2 minutes call, hey, I'm selling my Apple shares. Here's, I'm selling all of them. And then in 3-4 minutes, hey, I'm buying them again. Give me. You don't do that, right? You don't buy an apartment and a week later you sell it. Right? There's nothing really that can well, actually, I shouldn't say nothing. I mean, I can't really factor in all of this situation in our general discussion right now. But when I coach people about trading, we do talk about money movement as a very important, actually crucial part of trading properly. Right? Allow your balance to grow. The bigger your balance, the less risk you have. Right, and but I also kind of mentioned today, and I want to kind of reiterate and mention this again. You're not really going to trade in the range of more than a couple of $1,000. So if you take, let's say, $1,000 and you aim for 10% per day, and let's assume that every single day for a month you actually succeed in doing that, you will then take that 1,000 and turn it into $17,500 balance. So you will have $16,500 worth of profit. So leaving that there is not really the smartest thing in my opinion. Once again, my opinion. You're certainly able to do whatever it is that you want. You're an entitled person to make these decisions. But again, if you're trading within a certain amount of range, right? If I ever involve only $5,000 worth of my balance and I have a $100,000 balance, it means that $95,000 is not working for me. I would much rather take that out and invest it into real estate, right? Take that out, buy 4 cars and lend them out to Uber, right? Not every Uber driver wants to use their car. You can lend them and say, hey, drive my car, but you pay this amount of commission, back. I don't know if that's available in your country, if you're, looking at different parts of the world. But the idea is that once again, a lot, your money needs to work for you. So 1,000 becomes 16 and a half. Take out 13,000. $3,000 balance now becomes like 60K if you're looking at $10,000 worth of profit or 10% worth of profit on the daily basis. All right. So, but I usually say that 10% is actually quite optimistic as well. All right. Depending on how you trade, 4 or 5 signals per hour, it means that you need to sit in front of a computer for a couple of hours. If this is your side income, it's not really doing it for you, right? It's not something that's possible physically, right? You got a job, you got a girlfriend or a boy toy, you got family obligations, job, things like that. You don't have like 3, 4, 5 hours on a side income just to kind of sit here and So factor that in. Don't make unrealistic demands from this instrument. All right, so we looks like we're actually establishing kind of like a resistance level right here, like that. Right, that's also very exciting. It's called an ascending right triangle, but we also have kind of like a situation right here. We got kind of like a channel, right? We got dual. All right, wait a second. Let's make this, do a little bit of proper technical analysis instead of just trusting AI. But yeah, it looks like we got a possible, kind of like a 1, 2, situation here. But we also, there we go. It's dropping below. Yeah, we got shaft kind of doing a roundy thing. I mean, it could be testing this period. This is still a valid, very much a valid level of support. And in my technical analysis, I think I would have said that it should be going down. If it's going to go down, this will be the next level of interest. Yeah, but let's see what AI has to say. All right, so last position was a win. Actually, wait a second, right? We got what? A bunch of wins. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Definitely 7 wins in a row. It's about it's about time we do a losing trade. Joking aside, I mean, once again, everything, the unspoken truth, right? Me giving you a dose of the red pill. The truth about this system. Everything is about probabilities. Not really, what is the probability that you're going to have 20 successful trades in a row? Not freaking high, right? There is a particular statistic. Look, it actually looks like we're going to have a breakout strategy here as well. 1, 2, 3, or we can say like 1, 2. On the third one, it's breaking out because this isn't really where it started. Technically, it started somewhere here. So we won. Wait, did we win? Yes, we did. All right, so let's continue. All right, it says down. Yeah, I would actually say that, yeah, I think it would have gone down, but for a bit longer period, because of parabolic, because of crossing the zero line, because there was a breakout strategy, and yeah, I do believe that it should go down further, but we lost. All right, let's open another one. Is it going to go down? Yes. All right, so yeah, I do believe that it should go down further. All right, are we going to go for the fourth step and risk everything that we've made? I mean, hop in the chat, you guys. I'd love this to be a dialogue instead of a monologue. All right, let's go. Today I didn't really, kind of open this up for a possible losses. All right, 5 seconds. I don't know, did we? Yes, we did. Phew. I don't know. Don't really like this kind of roller coaster, but maybe you guys, wouldn't mind. As I mentioned at the end of this stream, right, in about another 10 minutes or so, I'm going to, we're going to kind of take a look. We're going to load up the history. We're going to see our statistic for the day. And because all of the trading that we've done with AUDCHF, this is all AI, we're going to see maybe what kind of trading volume, we've done and maybe what you can apply towards your um, trading, especially if you're doing the dep bonuses. Right? If you're doing deposit bonuses, you got to go through the trading volume. Otherwise, the money is not yours until you do. But, but yeah. All right. So wait a second. We got a 1, 2, 3 on the fourth. It broke through. It's not a false breakout. Doesn't seem like it anyway, unless you're looking at a different time interval. Right, so no, I mean with 3 minutes, it's also not really anymore a false breakout. With 5 minutes, yeah, we could still say that at the end of 4 minutes and 16 seconds, if it goes back inside here, this would, wait, not this one. This would be something would be like a continuation of this upward channel, but we do have certain points of interest. There we go. See, we got like this level right here. That's why, actually, yeah, really interesting enough. We could, there we go. We could actually put a horizontal line here. Boom, 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 right? It was a support level here, resistance level here, and a resistance level here. But with 5 minutes, it still says more likely that it's going to go down. With 3 minutes, yeah, that's probably the same thing. I would have waited a couple of minutes. But the beautiful thing about AI, you don't need to. You don't need to wait. And did we lose $2? Yes, we did. Let's go for 6 and open. There we go. It says down. I kind of want to say that I believe it, but there is a green bar here, which kind of points out that it could be going upwards sooner than later. And we got like a 30-second expiration on this particular candle. And again, see, man, I really hate going to that fourth step martingale, but I think I'll have to again. But the reason why, as I mentioned, is that the reason why I don't like it is that, yeah, it still puts that. Oh, and this is only for 5 seconds. God, I really don't like these. Lost. All right, going back to $1. Let's see. At the end of the, within another 10 minutes, we're going to see the results of the AI. But as I mentioned, this would be something that I do encourage people to look at as an instrument to go through the trading volume. So I don't think that we're going to lose on AI this session because we're not really taking unnecessary risks. But I do think that we're going to be damn near close to zero, if not, a little bit in profit, in my opinion. All right, so there we go. We're going back inside. There we go. We got parabolic switching. We got super trend pointing. So yeah, I would actually believe that there is going to be uh, another. Right, let's actually make this one because there. No, actually, let's keep this. Let's make another one, right? We've gotten another. All right, so we're in the money. Clicking again. There we go. So we got kind of like a 1, 2, kind of going back in here. So with 5 minutes, I think this would have been kind of an interesting thing to see. All right, we lost 1. Now here's a kind of, once again, a beautiful thing about dep bonuses. Even though you're locking in your money for a bit of time, imagine depositing $1,000, the situation, and let's say over the course of 3, 4 weeks, you lost $300. It's not very pleasant situation that's happening there. But if you invested $1,000, pocket option gave you another 1,000, and you lost over the course of 3 weeks, $300. Did I lose? Yes, I did. All right, $300, which means that on your balance there is 1,700 that is now yours, which is very freaking cool because it kind of just said I kind of just said that you don't need to trade into profit to make money here. That is awesome, and that is actually true, right? You don't need to trade with your money. You can trade with bit of pocket option money. And if you go through the trading volume, if you trade strictly into zero, again, imagine $1,000 you deposit and you trade, and at the end of 3 weeks, you're not higher, you're not lower. I mean, that's disappointing. You'd be like, what the hell? But if you had a dep bonus, that's what makes this beautiful. If you had a debt bonus and you traded exactly into zero or even on a slight minus, you're still going to be in profit. You're still going to make money. That's the beautiful thing about it. As long as we keep keep our together about money management. This is so important. Most people think that this is where you make money. Yeah, this is important, right? This is important, right? We discuss this on a weekly basis. I'm proving to you live. You can ask me a question live, right? Victoria, thank you for joining. Henry and Donald are with me all the time because we trade together now. But the idea is that ask me any questions. This is live. The market is live. We're able to prove to you that you're making money, that if you make proper decisions, you should be in the profit at the end of the month. And as a side income, I find that there is absolutely nothing better than this kind of situation. If we put into Excel, and I think I've done that in one of the streams, in one of the videos live, I'd love, we lost $1. I'd love for somebody to maybe turn this stream into a dialogue instead of a monologue. And we could discuss this. I could once again go back into my Excel sheets and show you these particular nuances, right? Where, you don't need a lot to make a lot. Man, I read this and somewhere, maybe, once again, I could be quoting a different time period, a different kind of statistic. But Donald Trump was born into a rich family. So I read his book. He was actually on the verge of, these difficult times, especially when he bought the Taj Mahal, the casino in New Jersey. But anyways, he's making relatively, smart business decisions with regards to when the proper opportunity comes, right? He bought, what was it, Wall Street 47. It was like a mini skyscraper for $1 million. Man, I think anybody, if I had $1 million and they were like, hey, let's buy, a mini skyscraper in the middle of Manhattan, be like, hell, that's a great investment, right? It's not something that's, but you have to have money to make money. But here's the interesting fact. He keeps constantly, not necessarily bragging, but he's very confident about the fact that he's worth $5 billion. It's not a small amount of money. That's really cool. Big props. I think he's kind of an interesting person. I'd love to have lunch with him. Maybe pick his brain. Certainly would benefit from his experience. But if his family at birth invested $1 million into the S&P 500, right? Companies, right? The largest companies in United States. Obviously, there's not such a thing like a stock of S&P 500. It's an index. But the idea is that if they invested $1 million over the course, I think, they proved that since his birth, it was growing by like 10-15% historically speaking. He would have had significantly more money today than $5 billion if $1 million was invested at his birth. And he did nothing but finger painting all his life. Right now, he would be worth more money. So when I say, the reason why I say that is that you don't need a lot to make a lot. 10-15% per day is mind-blowing. Considering that in the stock market, you're looking at 10 to 12, actually 6 to 12% return on investment per year. Here we're talking about people say, oh, it's not enough, I made only 10%. What? That's great investment at the end of the month. Yeah, especially if you're doing it on a daily basis for 30 days. Right? Spectacular results. Warren Buffett, I think the last statistic was like he was worth $177 billion. Or rather, him and his investment company, Berkshire Hathaway. $177 billion. Mostly of this fortune was done, if not all of this fortune, was done in the stock market. He's very, very patient man, and I don't want to use the word, kind of Scrooge McDuck, but, kind of he's not very willing to part with money. He doesn't spend money thoughtlessly, right? He doesn't splurge, from what I read in his book. So this is something that he's very patient. He keeps rolling the money into very safe companies. He becomes owner of the companies. That's actually really cool because I think he's the one that I think mentioned that how do you make money on crypto? If he bought out all of the Bitcoin in the world, for example, you know, how would he make money on it? He can only make money when he sells it. But what does he sell? It's not tangible, right? It's trust. Hopefully, people trust, and when he sells it, people will buy it. But when he invests money into General, I don't know, GE, General Electric, or Ford, or Chrysler, or I don't know, GM, General Motors, he becomes part owner of those companies that actually produce goods, right? So he's got something tangible there, and it's a different kind of risk, but it also means different kind of reward. It's not something as big as this. So please, please be aware that you should request realistic things from the instruments like binary. All right, I've been yapping again for a while. Didn't even know what the hell happened. All right, we won on the two, so we're going back to $1, right? All right, and wait a second. Is it time? Hold on. I said that I was going to be doing it. Yeah, it's it's about time. We've done our. All right, let's do another 5 minutes. Let's see what we got. All right, so yeah, we do have a relatively interesting uh resistance level here building up, right? We got something like this. All right, so what do we got? Actually, I should probably start with this one. There we go, like this. Okay, so we got an expanding here, expanding kind of pattern. And once again, was looking at a different thing, didn't even notice if we made money. All right, there we go. Once again, really difficult thing to kind of do because sometimes the expiration that AI will choose will be 15 seconds, sometimes it will be 5 seconds, sometimes it will be a minute. Sometimes, I don't think it's actually, I've ever seen a longer than 1 minute. It's usually within a minute. All right, so there we go. Let's open another one. So as I mentioned, we're going to do it for another, I don't know, 3 minutes or so. And at the end, we're going to see what kind of, what kind of results we had with the AI. All right, did we win? Yes, we did. Let's continue. And yeah, so usually, what I've been showing some, in my previous videos is actually trading every single minute. So I open position here, open position here, open position here. There was a good crossing of the zero line. There was a buy signal here. There was a buy signal here. There was a buy signal here. And so yeah, great freaking, opportunity. And I would have opened for a buy, 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 buy. Then there we go. Here, probably somewhere, after I saw the first red bar, I would have stopped. So I would have had one win, 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 5 winning trades and 1 losing trade. No, probably 2 losing trades. At this point, I would have stopped. So I would have had better than 50-50 statistic. So I still would have been in the money. But with AI, you're able to open significantly more positions within the same time period because 1 minute candles, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 minutes worth of 7 minutes, 7 positions. But here we're looking at, did I make money? Yes, I did. All right, here I'm looking at sometimes 5 second candle, and that means that within the same 7 minutes worth of time, I would have been able to put a lot more money to get, or a lot more positions together, and thus had a bit different kind of statistic, different kind of result. So more does not always mean better, right? So keep that in mind, please. Sometimes quality trumps quantity, but also depends on what the hell you're trying to do. If you're looking to make profit, it's a different kind of approach. If you're looking just to go into zero and go through the trading volume to clear up your money with the deposit bonus, that's a different kind of approach, different kind of statistic, a different kind of trading. All right, 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Or actually, no, 1 more minute. Less than a minute. All right, $1, $1. All right, so let that one be the last one. All right, one more time, my dear friends. Those who might have joined through the stream to kind of spend a little time with me, with Morpheus, trying to tell you the whole story. I'm not here to sell you a trick. I don't want you to do what I do because what I do Doesn't work for everybody. It doesn't work for all of the situations. But if you stick with me, if you sign up to this channel, hit that like button, leave a comment. I'd love to talk about something that you might be interested, for this not to be a monologue. We're just putting our how do I say, putting our material together based on my experience, right? I have well, essentially like what, 13 years worth of experience of trading with leveraged instruments, forex, binary options. I've worked for two massive, major brokers. Was the head of the VIP department, was working with the VIPs with the other. Anyway, so this is something that, I'm putting together based on my experience. But if you want to discuss something specific, right? If you want to discuss something that's very, I don't know, narrow, specific, leave a comment. Leave a comment. Say, hey, you know what? I would love to talk about, particular indicator. We're actually going to go through every single indicator on the platform in Pocket Option. There are, majority of indicators are shared between platforms. So even if you're not trading on Pocket, though I really don't understand why you wouldn't. It's a great platform. It offers massive advantages. And if you trade on Pocket, I can even insure your trading against negative trading, right? So we can put a little insurance policy, like, I don't know, 5, 10, whatever percent. Reach out to me in Telegram for, we can discuss this one-on-one. And anyways, Telegram channel is where we're going to be posting our schedules. We're going to talk about certain events, maybe certain lotteries, maybe certain things that might be of interest. Certainly worth checking out. So Telegram channels below. Obviously, hit like, subscribe button, leave a comment, something that I will be very, very grateful for. So here we go. I mean, check it out. We got, interesting enough, we got trading turnover for $262. We've been trading for an hour, right? And this is total. So we got profitable trades 56, right? We are in profit by, by 35 bucks. Actually makes me think that we've traded with EuroCAD, right? We've made money there. And yeah, it actually looks like we've cut into our profits with the AI trading. All of this. So all of this was done EuroCAD. We've made like 40 some bucks, and all of this trading that we've done with AUD so we're in profit, right? There we go. We've made it at two. You know what? There we go. There was that spike. There was a retracement, and we were kind of trading at 50, 50, going up and down, up and down, up and down. But the idea is that we went through relatively decent now, hold on a second. Wait a second. Is today 24th? Today is the 24th. Ah, yeah, max trade. I opened it for a retracement in AUD CAD. That's why it's the maximum trade here. So, yeah, $262 worth of trading volume is not too shabby, right? Not too bad. So, all right, my dear friends, thank you so much. Tomorrow, let's kind of give you a heads up what we're going to do tomorrow. And let me take a look. Tomorrow's the 25th. Well, we got Bulls and the Bears, baby. We got tomorrow at 1600, just a little bit later than we started today. We're going to talk about just technical analysis. We're going to talk about two indicators, the Bulls and the Bears. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today. Subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment. Let's get